Hi everyone. This is a class for a client who has recently broken their left ankle. So they need to move it but not be weight bearing. This person is pretty active. So we're going to start with some deep breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe placing the hand just underneath where the ribs begin to separate from each other. Feeling your diaphragm inflate and deflate with each inhale and exhale. Now moving the torso over the hips, any size circle you want, trying to keep a flat back. And in a couple rotations, we'll move to curving our back as we roll in this direction. So pushing through the sternum towards the heels and then curving the back towards the back wall. In the opposite direction. Starting with a flat back and then maybe curving with the shape if you want to. Coming back to center and stillness. We're going to start stretching the hands, upper body joints, so wiggling the fingers or making fists. Bringing some motion into the wrists, letting it grow to the elbows, and then eventually the shoulders. So maybe your shoulders roll forwards or backwards, maybe you do one at a time. Paying attention to what you need. Very nice. One hand to either a block or the mat, or forearm to block to the side of your body. Side stretch here, pushing the head back into the hand to align the spine, and then reaching the arm in an arc over the head, really reaching through those fingers. Trying to open up the side space there, opening space between the rib cage and the hips. Breathing in through the nose, feeling the belly push out, really taking up space. And now we'll do some shoulder rolls in this shape. As many as you like. I'm just demonstrating a couple of shapes here. Opposite side. You can put your palm flat on the mat or palm to block. Tucking the chin just a little bit to get the spine in alignment. Reaching through that arm. And then maybe choosing to circle for the shoulder stretch if you like. Any direction. I don't have very much shoulder mobility, so your circles may look different from mine. Coming back to center. Taking in some breaths. Really nice. Now drop your ear to one shoulder. That may be good enough for you to stop, or you can lift the opposite hand, extend the arm all the way out, and kind of move it back and forth, seeing some spots that maybe need more relaxing, or either side. So just dropping the ear to the shoulder, and you can stop there, or extend the arm fully and kind of wave it around like you're in a pool. Noticing some areas that maybe feel more tight. You want to spend some time there, kind of just bouncing your hand around to relax and strengthen the neck. Going to move around to table. Now take as much time as you need to do this. I suggest a blanket underneath your knees for support. I'm trying to imagine both fists facing in, or you can use your blocks if you have any problem putting your body weight on your wrists. So here I've got my forearm set up on blocks. I'm not putting any pressure on my feet. I'm going to support that left leg with a block, but you could support it with like a pillow or a rolled up blanket or two, with the idea that the left foot is not being weight bearing. Dropping the stomach to the mat and then curving the spine up towards the ceiling. Maybe with breath, so inhaling, pushing the sternum forward, exhaling, curving out towards the ceiling. I'm just checking to make sure that everything is comfortable. Extending that opposite leg back. I'm actually going to decide not to do this. Hold on. I'm going to start with just rotating the ankle. So bring some movement into the toes, flexing and pointing the foot, wiggling the toes, and then bringing that motion into the ankle, eventually the knee, and then the hip. Anything to warm up the joints. And then we'll do the other side. So pushing that leg straight back, pointing and flexing the toe, maybe wiggling the toes, then rotating the ankle, bringing some motion into the knee. Now here you can extend and push back out. See, I found this hard to balance with the block propped up so high, so I actually moved it back a bit. So take time to be comfortable and be safe. Yeah. So pushing through that rear heel and reaching through the front fingertips, or you can choose to just hold. And let's do a little bit of cat-cow to shake it out. Drop the belly, curve the spine. And then I took the moment to remove the block. And come all the way down onto the belly. Hands are underneath your shoulders, not weight bearing. Big toe and heel to touch. Legs are glued to the mat. Now push your shoulders off the mat through your sternum, maybe even tucking the chin a little bit so that the head is in line with the rest of the spine. And back down. And again, bringing heel and big toe to touch, lifting through the chest. This back bend is called cobra. And then chin, mouth, or forehead to touch the mat. Bring your arms long along your sides, hands facing down. We're going to do the legs first, so heel and big toe to touch. Tuck your tailbone towards your heart and lift just your legs off the mat. Now adding to that, we're going to peel the shoulders back. Chin is a little tucked to keep the head in line with the spine. Fingers reaching back towards toes. Reaching. And feeling your breath. Move your body in this shape. And release back down. And again, drawing big toe and heel to touch, tucking tailbone towards your heart. Pull your shoulders off the mat, fingers reaching back towards toes, shining through the crown of the head, and release back down. Being very careful with that left ankle there. Going to come up through table and swing your legs around in front of you. Taking as much time as you need. Right, to get situated. Place your feet flat on the mat. Bring your hands underneath your knees to pull yourself up sitting nice and tall. Now kick back, bringing your feet in like the lower part of your leg to a 90-degree angle. And here, if you like, you can flex and point your feet or roll your ankles again. You can keep your hands holding onto the undersides of your knees, or you can let go, still pushing the sternum towards the heels. So if you let go, you can also bring your arms overhead. You can also push your feet forward, making your legs straight if you want. Hands back under knees to gently lower back down. We're going to reset and do that again, so take a deep breath. Hands under knees. To pull yourself up nice and tall. And now rocking back onto the smallest part of you that touches the mat. And maybe you hold on to your knees, or maybe your hands let go. Maybe your hands come overhead, or maybe you push your feet straight out front. Just trying to keep your spine straight the whole time, pushing the sternum towards the feet. Now you can scoot your bum back a bit and maybe adjust your flesh a little bit under your posterior so that your sits bones are making contact with the mat. Place blocks underneath your knees. Have the soles of your feet touching as close or as far from you as is comfortable. And you can use your heels or ankles or thighs to come up sitting nice and tall. And then push the sternum towards the heels. That's as far as I can go. My hamstrings are tight, y'all. And then if you like, you can curve your head towards your heels or not, totally your choice. Your blocks can be under your knees or your thighs to provide support as needed. Rolling back up, this is important. Hands under knees to close your legs safely. Then scoot your bum up a bit and draw your knees into your chest and give them a big hug. Oop. You also want your blocks close by. Let your knees drop to one side. Maybe you support your thigh or knee with a block or a pillow or a rolled up blanket. The important thing to know in this shape is that you keep both of your shoulders flat on the mat. So we'll bring it back to center, rock it out a bit, massaging the lower back and hips with our own body weight, and then let the knees fall to the other side. Your arms can be out to your side or kind of like in a goalpost formation. Bring your knees back in for another hug. Now keep one knee hugged into your chest and let the other leg go long along the mat. Maybe you want your knee pointed towards your chin or your shoulder. And then tuck your tailbone towards your heart so that the small of your back presses into the mat, and lift your long leg off the mat a couple inches. You can add some ankle movement in here. And hold that until you're ready to pull them back in again. Opposite leg. We'll get set up by drawing our knee into our chin or towards our shoulder, pressing the small of the back into the mat, and then lifting the long leg off the mat just a couple inches. Really pushing through that heel, long toes pointed up towards the ceiling, and back down. Bring both legs into your chest, hugging your knees. Place both of your feet flat on the mat and cross one ankle over the opposite knee. This might be enough of a stretch for you, but if you like, you can use a nearby belt or exercise band or whatever you've got handy to kind of pull that thigh into your chest. And now from here you can make circles in the air, more opportunities for flexing and pointing the foot or rolling the ankle. You can lift your leg up to the ceiling, sway side to side. All of this could change the sensation of the stretch for you, and there may be places where you'd like to hang out and spend some time and kind of massage out. We're going to switch feet. So crossing opposite ankle over the knee and lassoing that inner thigh through that little window there in our legs. And you can see that my arms are relaxed. They're down on the mat. I'm not pulling my leg in towards myself. I'm just giving myself some stability using the belt or exercise strap, whatever you've got. And again, lots of options. You can keep the knee bent or straight. Here you can work on bringing some motion into the ankle, flexing or pointing the foot or rolling the ankle. Feeling the sensation change as you move your hips along the mat. And here we're going to remove the belt, lasso the sole of one of your feet. Now your knee can stay bent or go long along the mat, whatever feels better to you. I usually start out with my knees bent and eventually let it go long. So again, you can see I don't have any tension in my arms. My biceps are down on the mat, no tension. So you can cross your foot along your body, or you can open it up as wide as you can. Whatever feels good and supported. You're not holding any tension in the neck or face. The leg that's resting on the mat, toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. And slowly, with control, using the mat to lower the leg to the ground. And we'll lasso the sole of the opposite foot. Eventually. And bringing that up so you could press your foot onto the ceiling. Knees bent, that's okay. Now you can keep that grounded knee bent, or you can let your leg go long along the mat. More opportunities for flexing and pointing the foot or rolling the ankle motions here. Now you can draw your foot across your belly, across the midline of your body, or you can let it go open as wide as you can. Still not really using any force on that belt, letting it move easily, just gliding to the floor with control. Remove the belt and lying supine on your mat, start taking some breaths into your belly again. Kind of rest here in Shavasana for a couple of moments. And then when you're ready, rolling over to one side to gently push yourself back up to sitting. Thanks, y'all.